Yep, still smell like that. You have a lot of peduncles, but you've not given me a lot of blooms. When I first got into Hoyas, I thought blooms were something only experienced growers got. I told myself I would just enjoy the foliage, but guess what? The blooms came anyway, and now I'm going to show them off. For Vlogmas Day 17, I'm going to show off every single Hoya that bloomed in 2025. Let's celebrate these end of year blooms together. The first one is going to be no surprise for those who watch this channel.
If you can guess the first one, comment below.
I am sharing all the Hoyas that bloomed in 2025. I'll give you a little background of the Hoyas, and the most important thing, I'm going to let you know what the blooms smell like. This one is a new smell to me, so get ready. Get ready for what it's going to smell like. Hoya Linearis that is full. I never expect my Hoya to bloom but one time. And this, there's more. There's more. Yeah. Oh, all the way at the bottom. So Hoya Linearis, I've had her for a minute. I've had her for, I think since we moved into this house. Yes, I got it in September. So I would say 2 years and a few months. But yeah, she's bloomed. All right, let's smell this bloom together because I've already smelled it. I've smelled this one. I've not smelled the others. There's 4. There's 4 in bloom. Did you know that? There's 4. I have 4 right now at the same time. And there's more coming. Okay. All right, let's see. Yep, still smell like that. Still smells like it. Yep, let's smell the other ones. Comment below and let me know what you think the blooms smell like. So the blooms smell like lemon zest, lemon rind. It does not smell sweet. It is not a sweet smell like some of the other Hoyas I have. I have the Hoya, you'll see, the Hoya fillaysonii. That one smells like lemon pound cake. It's very citrusy and sweet. This is not sweet. It's like savory. It's not sweet. Shocking, right? I was expecting like sweet because I've heard it smells like lemon. In my head, you know, when something smells like lemon, it's a lemon dessert. It's a lemon meringue. It's a lemon bars. Not lemon, but it's lemon. Thank you for those who were cheering me on for this plant to bloom for the past 6 months. It is making me very happy. I don't have a full range of how long these blooms last yet because this is my first bloom on this one. It looks like it's just gonna be blooming for me to winter because I still put this plant in the closet. I still want to keep up with the blooms until like winter is officially here, because once winter is officially here, the light, within a month we'll get more light, and then that, you know, the cold and light is what this plant needs to bloom. More cold, less light. All right, this one is the Hoya pendurata Vietnam form. It is a fast growing Hoya for me, and it has the bloom still. Okay, so these blooms smell, now I thought at first they smell very floral, gardenia-ish, but then somebody put in my mind Coca-Cola. And when I smelled it again, I smelled Coca-Cola. There was no going back to floral, because now when I smell it, I smell Coca-Cola. I just got this plant in spring of this year, and it's already bloomed. It's been bloomed 3 times for me, so hoping that it will continue to bloom throughout the year. We'll see how it goes. I have moved it to pond. This is the first Hoya I have in pond and self-watering pot. This is not something that I do to my Hoyas. If this goes well, I might try it with another one. We'll see. So far, since I've moved it to pond, it's just done really well. The blooms on this one last over a month. This one is hanging on. This is the second bloom, and like 1 more flower is left. I think I'm gonna take it. I'm taking the flower and I'm going to put it in silica to dry it. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna take them all. Hoyas don't have to be with you for too long to get blooms if you're still looking for blooms. I mean, I've had the blessing of having a lot of blooms this year, and I'm very thankful for that. I mean, I know a lot of people have more Hoyas than me and have more blooms, but this is what is making me happy right now. I'm not sharing anything in any kind of order. I'm just going through to my shelves to find the Hoya that bloomed this year. Okay, this is a very, very unhappy Hoya, and I don't know if you guys know how much I love this Hoya. This is the Hoya krohniana silver. It is my favorite Hoya. And it's very upset. It's very sad. We're going to be rehabbing this plant on the channel soon. And I have not watered it in a long time. I'm going to be chopping it up. So anyway, this is the Hoya krohniana silver. And it is a constant bloomer. It was a constant bloomer until it got very sick. I don't know what's going on with it. I did already chop part of this plant and give some cuttings away, and I kept cuttings for me, and I actually have those. Okay, so these are the cuttings that I took from it, and it is doing phenomenal. It's doing really well. The leaves, hold on. I need more hands. The leaves that's coming in is a lot bigger. I'm very thankful for that. I love how silvery it is. I love how there's a mixture of different colors on here. Okay, so this one is a constant bloomer and is very perfumey. It smells like dessert. It is definitely a decadent type of smell. Very, very sweet. This is more perfumey in the morning and at night. And, you know, we have a lot of moths here. And I find moths in my room sometimes. And no surprise, this one is calling all the moths to my plant room. Blooms don't last long. They last about a week to 10 days. But because this plant constantly blooms, you don't really notice that it's gone because there's another bloom coming. And I'm hoping once I give it a rehab, it will continue to get better and bloom. The blooms are so beautiful on this one. I mean, all the Hoyas, the blooms are beautiful. This one especially, it reminds me of what is on a wedding dress. Very, very beautiful blooms. Here we have the Hoya shepherdii. It did bloom for me this year, and this plant, the blooms, smells like dessert. It is another sweet smelling Hoya. It's not as perfumey as the krohniana silver though. The blooms on this, it does not last long. It lasts about a week, unlike the pendurata that's lasting 30 days so far. When I got this plant, it came with all these peduncles. I got it with peduncles, so I don't have new peduncles, I will say. You can tell the age of a Hoya by how long these peduncles are. Hi. This is one big plant. It has a lot of leaves on this side and not a lot of leaves on this side. Isn't that crazy? And this is where some of the peduncles are. Okay, this is my Hoya pubic splash. It is a beautiful Hoya and it's bloomed this year for me twice. 2 cycles of blooms. Early spring it bloomed and then it bloomed again in fall. The blooms don't smell great on this one. It smells musky. The blooms on this one is so pretty. Love it, but don't smell it. Don't smell it. This plant produced peduncles for me when I did my Hoya experiment and putting it in a closet in spring. Early spring this year, that's what I did. And within 10 days, I had a peduncle. And then I got a bloom. And since that, there's more peduncles coming in and then it's bloomed more for me. So I'm glad that I did that. I'm not sure if this is a cold loving Hoya. It maybe is a medium loving Hoya, but yes. But these blooms I celebrate because they're so beautiful. Just don't smell it. I would say the blooms on this plant last about 2 weeks. I should write all this down in a bloom diary. I'm planning to do that next year. I have about 5 peduncles on this plant, and last year I had 0. Hoyas could definitely surprise you. Okay, this is the Hoya walliniana UT152. It has bloomed for me this year 3 or 4 times. It's definitely stopped since we've had fall and now winter's on its way. I have 2 peduncles on here. Came with a peduncle, so I can't really take credit for it, but it grew another peduncle, so I could take credit for that. Blooms look like rubies, and it smells like cinnamon. It is perfect. It's perfect. They don't last long though. Seriously, days, like 3 to 5 days, you have these blooms. You guys tell me how long your Hoya blooms stay on for, because I'm curious to know if it's different environment, it stay on for longer or shorter. Let me know. Here's the Carnosa compacta. Take it out of what I have it on. I have it on a trellis. It's long. Yes. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. This plant has bloomed for me so much this summer. At one point, I had 4 blooms going on at the same time. Just so very thankful for that, because this is my first Hoya that bloomed. This was the first one. This is my oldest Hoya, and it's bloomed for me. It started blooming last year, and this year it's just bloomed so much. Blooms on this one last about 2 weeks, and it smells like chocolate and cherries for the first 2 days, and then it does not. It smells very, very unpleasant. If you go on Reddit, there's a Reddit smell sheet, and there's lots of people's smell opinion on there on what this plant smells like. It really does smell good for the first 2 days. After that, no. I mean, you guys have heard me say what it smells like. You know, smells like socks. It just doesn't smell good. So I like that I have it wrapped, because I'm able to kind of not have it hanging. But come next year, when I have my new styling set up, I might have this plant as a hanger. Oh my gosh, that's going to be even more beautiful. But I think it actually likes being wrapped, because since I've wrapped it, this end of the plant has just gotten so much thicker. This is the Hoya filsonii. It stopped blooming once it got really cold here. It's a rotating bloom machine. It doesn't stop blooming. Once spring comes, it goes around a circle rotating the bloom. Blooms on this plant is so beautiful. It is the perfect fall bloomer. It's just a perfect colors for fall. The blooms have stages. At one point it opens up and then it goes all the way back. The petals do something like that, and the colors change, and the blooms smell like citrus, dessert. It's just gorgeous. And it's the way it's so pretty. This is like one of my favorites. Do I dare do a favorite bloom video? I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. Anyway, the blooms on this one last about 2 weeks, and it rotates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 peduncles on here. So it's a bloom machine. It really is. Bloom smell check sweet, and it lasts about 2 weeks. Hoya filsonii. If you don't have this plant, you need to get it. Okay, so here we have the Hoya retusa. I mean, seriously, it's covered in blooms. There's nowhere that there's not a bloom. Can't even tell you how long the bloom lasts, because there's just so much. I don't know how long they last. I didn't count it last year. Plant did bloom for me last year, and I had about 3 or 4 blooms. But do you see how much blooms we have going on? Do you see that? This plant reminds me of a little Christmas tree. I should put fairy lights on this one. The blooms smell perfumey, like those old-fashioned perfume, what you go into a vintage thrift store and smell. That's what the blooms smell like. It's perfumey. It's not great. It's not pungent like the Hoya krohniana silver. So I'm glad it's not pungent like that one. I really love this plant. This is an underrated Hoya. I don't think a lot of people like this, but I like it. No, this is my Hoya carnosa, the regular carnosa. I just did a little trellising on it with bonsai wire. But this plant bloomed for me for the first time in fall. Surprisingly, right? Fall bloomer. It's just so surprised. I don't know if it's gonna bloom again, but yeah, I was very, very thankful for the bloom. It's so amazing to see when a Hoya blooms. It's like a reward that you get. Okay, so the blooms on this one lasted about a little over 2 weeks, and it smelled of chocolate and cherries. I think all the carnosas seem to have the same smell. There's nothing that's different about them. I was actually going to get rid of this plant in summer, and I decided to keep it, and then I got a peduncle. So I'm glad I kept it. It's not really my favorite Hoya, but it is still a beautiful plant. All right, we have the Hoya multiflora. I just got this plant late summer and it bloomed, 2 of them. There's 2 peduncles on here. It's funny, like the peduncles formed when it came in my care. It didn't have the peduncles when I got it. So that was, I mean, a great blessing to have. The blooms on this one does not have a smell. Surprisingly, very, very beautiful bloom, but there's no smell. It lasts like a month. About a month. For me, it lasted a long time. And I actually took the blooms, I plucked the blooms off the plant and put it in silica. So we're drying these blooms so we can preserve it. It's one of the most beautiful Hoya blooms I've seen, and I cannot believe there's no smell. It dripped a lot of nectar, but no smell. So Hoya multiflora, and that's the story of this one. Okay, this is the Hoya villosa, and this one surprisingly have bloomed for me in late winter. I was just very blessed by this, it blooming, and this is where the peduncle was. And the blooms on this one smell of gardenias. This one definitely smelled like gardenia. And it lasted over a month. I had the blooms on the plant. It just didn't want to leave. I'm okay with that. It's a very, very beautiful bloom. I cannot wait to get more blooms again, but I'm not sure when that's going to happen. But the plant itself is doing really well and hoping it continues to flourish. But I'm just so thankful that I got a bloom on this plant. This was a shocker for me this year. This one was. Okay, this one is my... Look at all these peduncles. This one is the Hoya latifolia variegated, and there's so much. Can you see all those peduncles? Yeah, there's more back here. Okay. You have a lot of peduncles, but you've not given me a lot of blooms. Okay, so this plant bloomed for me just one time, I think early spring. The bloom is very beautiful. It smells like vanilla. It's not as pungent as the Hoya krohniana silver. This Hoya is a teaser because it gives you a lot of peduncles, but the blooms you really wait a long time for. The blooms on this one, it lasts, I would say, about 10 days. It doesn't really last as long. It's only perfumey in the morning, and actually sometimes at night the blooms will close up. That's what I experienced with this one. So yeah, but I am thankful that it did bloom this year, and looking forward to all of these finally blooming. Here we have my Hoya Bella that is not happy at all. She's not happy. She's mad at me. And I will be giving her some TLC soon in a few days. And this plant was in my east window. It was loving life for the longest, and then I have tons and tons of leaf drop. And I'm gonna have to rehab this plant and give her new substrate and everything. But the blooms on this one is another one of my favorites. It just looks like jewels. It smells like jasmine. It is not a strong smell. You actually have to get close to it to get a good smell for it. It's not like some of my other Hoyas. And it lasts about a week to 10 days, I would say. And I got this plant in spring. This is another latifolia. This is the green one, and this one has bloomed for me. This came as a cutting for me last year, and I have 4 peduncles on it. But the latifolia, like I said, is a tease. It grows a lot of peduncles, but it takes a long time to actually bloom. But I did have blooms on this one this year. Here's where this one bloomed, and I had over here it bloomed this year, but these right here, nothing. So yep. Okay, so these are the plants in my IKEA cabinet, and this one needs a water. I don't know, like I swear, like my plants just really get dried so quickly. Okay, so this is the Hoya caudata, and it is a beautiful plant. And the blooms on this one is so beautiful. It's magical. It is one of the most magical Hoyas that I have ever seen, but they don't last long. It's like 3 days. You have them for a very, very short time. But the thing about this plant, it constantly blooms during the growing season. It's not bloomed for me since late summer. That's the last bloom I had. The blooms smell like nothing. Underwhelming, right? Some of the most beautiful blooms of the Hoyas smells like nothing. But yeah, shocking. I mean, I was kind of disappointed when it smelled like nothing. But it's very beautiful. It it has these little hairs. Hoya caudata, just, very thankful that I had so much from it this year. And this one is a cutting that I did have. It's the Hoya calliciphylla. Bloomed for me over here, and the peduncle completely fell off. This one smells, gosh, it had a smell. I don't remember. It did have a smell to it, and it was pleasant. And the blooms lasted about 2 weeks, I would say. I'm just very thankful that I was able to get a bloom on this one. And yeah, and I think, oh, I was gonna say that's the last one, and the Rosita is yelling at me. She's like, you forgot me. I'm sorry. Okay, Hoya Rosita has bloomed for me. The blooms smell like candy. It's very beautiful. Again, like this one looks like pearls, but the color of rubies. She's not bloomed for me again this year since that last one. I don't think she's happy. I need to give her a check. We need to do some rehabbing of some Hoyas on my channel. I can't help but show you one 2024. 2024 bloom. It's not bloomed for me since 2024. This is the Hoya Casa Petiolata. The bloom on this one is so beautiful, and I forget how long it lasts because it's been so long. This is where it was, right over there, and it's not done anything for me since. I wanted to show it off anyway since it was a bloom, even though it was 2024. That is all the blooms I've had in 2025. I think I'm just so thankful for the blooms I did have on my Hoyas. Having blooms on your Hoya is just one of the things that is like a reward for growing them, and they really have blessed me this year. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and celebrating 2025 Hoya blooms with me. Tell me about your Hoya blooms and how much you had this year, and let's all celebrate together. I'll see you in the next Vlogmas.